Hey everyone, this is Louis7 and I am streaming the Lord of the Rings online, and I need to move my microphone 1 second. Okay, there we go. I believe that should be better. I just noticed it was a little bit out of position compared to where it normally was, so just wanted to adjust that. And I realize it's actually been a while since I've done anything. I guess I did do the producer's letter video a few days ago, but yeah, I'm finally getting back to doing more Wildwood preparation today. It will be a little bit different. I won't be playing my hunter. Instead, I'm actually first going to be just doing something that is not Wildwood preparation related at all. We're going to be doing some instances with my Kinship. And then later in the stream, I'll actually be doing the Wildwood preparation. So that is what is going on. And hello, Wizco and Justin Carney and Dennis Lane. It has been a while. And let's see, yeah, so today I think we're going to start with Sammoth Goal, actually. It's been a little bit of a nostalgia week for the Mithril League as far as our events go, but I have not really been able to participate in much of those. And there is one tomorrow I unfortunately will not be able to go, and just as a heads up, will not be streaming LOTRO tomorrow, but there are a few things that I want to go over today, and I don't know, I think sounds like some people are just having some issues getting started here, so maybe, I don't know if I have time to do a mission, but for a little bit of what I'll be doing, other than the instances, which I don't know how long we'll be doing the instances, how many we'll do, or whatever with that. I just know Sammoth Goal is on the list, and that is the only one. But after that, I want to prepare my characters, a couple of my non-hunter characters, for Wildwood. So with Wildwood, there's going to be a level 20 plus instance. That is the Woe of the Willow, the Old Forest one. So I want to get a character set up for that, at least in position for that, can be level 20-ish. And I probably already have a character, but I was thinking about leveling my champion as an option. Or what I might do before that, at least as higher priority than that, is go on my captain and do the Foracle book quest so I can be ready for the Foracle instance quest chain. For an on-level character, I could also do that on my Warden, who is appropriately dressed for Foracle, but I was thinking it would be a little bit better to do it on an on-level character. And hello, Nathan Philip Connors and Shagrath, who is in Croatia, which I believe is far away and very late as far as I know. And this character I should probably travel to Southbury and then travel to a little bit less Southbury to get my subscriber town services, which is something I very often forget, and I can have a tendency, especially when traveling to a place like Galtrav here, to actually completely forget that and get just distracted from it. So that is what I want to do right now. And unfortunately with the stream, I was actually hoping to start it a little bit early and do the captain part at the beginning of the stream, but unfortunately I did not get around to doing it. And hopefully, I am really hoping I can actually go quite a while this evening. Normally I don't stay up all that late and stream that late, as people who are regular to my channel probably know, so I would at least like to stay for a little bit long, but I don't know how that will actually work. So I have all these grand plans right now for the stream, or I even had these grand plans for the stream, just even though I thought it would start earlier, so it might be hard to get to all of that. And with Saturday in general, I know the last Saturday stream was quite busy, and I think that is maybe when I started my Wildwood prep on my hunter. And I was thinking about doing Saturday streams a little bit earlier, like that afternoon time for me, but that was unable to happen today, basically. And yeah, people are getting all set up in Discord a little bit loud. I need to adjust some people's volume there. And Andrew, you have been getting to Wildwood preparation yourself. That is good. I feel like it's an update that I've had to prepare for more than any other updates. And Nathan, I really hope that Wildwood is going to be on the legendary servers, because that is where I am doing all this preparation, actually. I am on Anora, that is where my hunter is, that's where my captain's going to be, and potentially my champion, where I'm preparing all of them for Wildwood, and yeah. So, since it's taking people forever to actually get set up and get ready, I need to do a lot of relic stuff for my allies. I was actually just opening this and going to look at what I needed, but I really do want to work on the relic stuff right now. So we can go through that fun process. It's actually not too much of a boring process, it's a little bit tedious, but has over time been made way less tedious. So we are still on the legendary servers where this character is at level 100, stuck with the not quite as good relics, so I'm going to have to auto-combine a bunch of these. Will probably cost me a bunch of gold overall, but that is okay. So I believe I want tier 8 or tier 9 legacies, or not legacies, but relics here. And I have to remind myself, every time I do this actually I have to remind myself of if I like Westamnet or Wildermore relics the best, but these are our custom relics. I don't know custom, but relics you can meld at the Relic Master that are a little bit better than the base relics that you can get. Hello Patrick, I don't actually remember if I said hello to you. Let's see, so I like this one, the Devastate, Magnitude, and Crit rating. There's the possibility Wildermore setting of endings. Okay, that's the same thing. Maybe it was Easton, yeah, true setting of the 3 hunters, maybe that one. Physical mastery, so it's a question of if I want critical rating or physical mastery, basically. And I think getting twice as much critical rating as I would physical mastery is going to be better for my character overall, even though I'm pretty high on the crit chance. I'm actually not familiar if Wardens get a 5% crit chance in the yellow line. I would guess they do, but I'm actually not completely familiar with that. And there are a few things also for Wildwood that I should be going on about. So for anybody unfamiliar, it was confirmed in the LOTRO beacon of all places that the release is scheduled for, what is today, Saturday? So next week still. Which is when a lot of people suspected, I think, with the Spring Festival after it did not come this week and we got the beta. So what I want is tier 10 relics, wow. Okay, so this would be very expensive to get. This is another thing to consider, is that would be very expensive, or I could get this one for 4 tier 9 relics. It'd be a little bit cheaper. But what that tells me is I need tier 9 relics. Hopefully, I see somebody in combat are getting debuffs, but I don't think the instance has actually started yet. Okay, so now I have tier 9 relics and can actually look at that. Need to reforge some of those. You do not have, oh, I don't have enough shards. Wow, that's actually a rare one for me. Usually I'm all loaded on the shards. I wonder if I use my shards for something on the server or what happened there. Just because I usually do have so many, but can unlock this stuff, deconstruct more relics, and then I want to reforge. And I don't think I am quite ready, it looks like, to get all of my relic set on this character. I realize also, after not streaming for a while, it takes me a little bit of a minute to get back into the, I guess, fluidity of it, like talking and doing things at the same time, multitasking.
How can I be of service?
Let's see, identify these. And it looks like I do have one LI that is completely ready to deconstruct. This is a long process, really. It just takes a while and have to be patient to get the imbued LI set up, even with the relics, especially at this level where the relics is mainly from melding at the Relic Master. So we are doing Samoth Ghoul tier 2 here to start. This should be a fun one. We're going about 15 minutes late, it looks like, but that is okay.
Stained by his presence, few now dare enter here.
We have conviction for healing. So it looks like we do not have a healer besides myself, which I'm not a real healer. As much as I would like to try to pretend to be a real healer on a Warden, I don't think I quite am. So it sounds like we will maybe try without a healer, or maybe the champion's going to switch to an ult. So with Wildwood, there are a few interesting changes coming to the Warden potentially that I will go over. I've kind of been thinking I didn't have time to really work on a video late this week or even stream LOTRO as I would have maybe liked, but yeah, I was thinking about doing a video of the changes for Wildwood from the first beta to basically the last one before release, because there are a lot of interesting changes with the Warden and just a lot of interesting things from the last beta round actually that I didn't quite get to covering. But okay, I don't know what was going on there, but Andrew, you were hoping I would talk about the Warden changes. So what I'm thinking about when Wildwood actually releases and everything is official, actually getting patched, I was thinking about doing a video, not even just a stream, maybe a video and a stream on the Warden. Oh, I really want to use Resounding Challenge here, but it would be bad. Basically, I would grab aggro, and without a healer, I have to be a little bit extra safe, as much as I might dislike that. Okay. We should have plenty of DPS since we're running without a healer. We have 2 hunters, a champion, a warden, and I guess one of the guardians would be DPS. They're probably not all that great. Before imbued allies, it's kind of interesting with the guardian. Before imbued allies, they seem to have relatively decent DPS actually, and I'm in melee stance, which is not good. But I think with the imbued allies, so many of the DPS classes just get significantly better compared to the Guardian. And I haven't confirmed this on my Guardian, but it's just my experience from playing a Guardian pre-imbued ally and post-imbued ally, but not actually doing that transition yet. For example, on this server where I have a Guardian, level, I think the low 80s or upper 70s maybe. Oops, did not mean to go about this slow way. I guess we are getting the quest. I don't mind getting the quest items. And hello, Ivan Stainer. And yeah, Nathan, still no love for the Guardians as far as the patches go. I think it sounds like a lot of the class developer and balance change developer time is being focused on the brawler is what it sounds like. So while it's exciting to get a new class and all that, it does seem to be coming at the expense of balance for classes, which is not a great thing. And even this is Sameth Ghoul, a level 65 plus instance. Now it's a scaling instance that is a part of Mirkwood. And it's very gross, especially when you see these skeletons hanging in the cages up there. As much as LOTRO is praised for its beauty, there are a lot of gross things like that in the game. Somebody might have died. I really like when there are mobs like this. Like there's the brute here who's absorbing all the AoE damage. And it is basically just fun seeing all those damage numbers. And no, Ivan, this is not a jean jacket. I don't even know what to call this. It is some sort of shirt type thing. I think it is cotton. What is what the other part of it would be, at least. Oh, I have to actually pay attention in this instance. That will not be good. These bone piles, if we step on them, they summon little spirits. And I am in melee stance again, wow. The gambits that are good to use in range stance with the L line as it is right now are not the same gambits that are good to use in the melee stance. Yeah, if you're talking about this instance, Ivan, with the less beauty and more realism, that is probably true, but even the realism in itself, kind of that fantasy, I think, as you mentioned, is pretty neat. Can't tell if that dwarf is dead. He's not really selectable. I'm assuming he's dead. But that's also a little bit creepy that he's not like completely rotted or turned into bones yet. It's really weird going about this instance. A lot of the old level 100 scaling instances, or hold up, I should restart that. The scaling instances that come before the Osgiliath instances are usually very easy, especially relative to how powerful characters are at level 100 with imbued allies and even the Gira and such at this point. So it's really weird going about this slowly just because we don't have a healer. We're killing things really fast, but we're actually going through a little bit of a process, I guess. Just have to be a little bit more careful than usual if we had a healer. But if it actually works and we can have everybody play the character they want, that is a great thing. Alright, going to be sneaky. See, that's why I poked my head out there to hit him. That's why I poked my head out to hit him. Guardian, our group leader, was actually just talking about how I might get bored if we keep going this slow. Yeah, Ivan, we do not have healing. We have some people who could change to healing alts, but this is just what everybody started playing on, and that is what we are trying with right now. Ivan, you like AoE healing. That probably means... I think the Minstrel has some AoE heals, but whenever I think of AoE heals, I think of Beorning and even Runekeeper. Beorning's really good because it's not Fellowship-wide. It could be raid-wide, or anybody even not in your Fellowship or raid nearby. I actually should switch to a different outfit I have. I have a... Oddly enough, I think of it as my Baird Guldur outfit, because when I got the outfit, my kin was mainly running Baird Guldur, even though we were running it at level 85. Trying the tier 2 challenge run through that was basically our level 85 progression, it seemed like. So I feel like I should be in this outfit. I know I don't really use it much anymore since I got my new ones, but it's very thematic towards this place, basically. Oh yeah, Ivan, the Warden does have AoE healing, but unfortunately it is just not as strong as other people. So this is the healing that Warden has. I have one gambit that heals, but it only heals, you see the numbers coming up, it crits about 1k and heals about 500. And that is every 3 seconds for 9 seconds, and that would be at the cost of me actually doing something more useful. So while I do have the healing in more seriousness, it's just not that useful. So I need to go ahead and get this character eaten some food. There we go. And I think this character, if I think about this character's progression, one thing I should point out is how bad my gear is on this character. That is something I really need to replace. There are a lot of options. I'm trying to get somebody to craft me... Oops. Man. This is not good. Hopefully we can survive. I'm guessing the other Guardian is completely in DPS spec is probably the case. I'd actually be surprised. Actually, they do look like they're in yellow line. That's a little bit odd. They at least used... I thought it looked like they used a couple of yellow line skills. I don't see the telling mark. That skill. Might use a potion here. Somebody healed me. I don't know how, but I just got healed right there. It could actually have been Never Surrender. I forget that does sometimes actually heal you if it doesn't just decide to not work. Oh no. Alright, I'm going to try to interrupt this Goldor Spear. I'm causing a lot of messes right now for this instance, though, for our group. Okay, should just be... Oh, it's only fitting that I died for all that. And it stacks with other Wardens. I don't know if a single Warden's one can stack. Let's actually test that right now. Two of them were thanks to me. So it does not look like two of them stack. Nope, two of them were because of me. I accidentally used my AoE on the wrong targets for the first one, and then I was backing up into a bone pile. It looks like there's only one group on the left side here. Actually is interesting running this without a healer though, just because it does make it a little bit more difficult, so I have to think about things a little bit more. It reminds me kind of when we would run Rift and things like that on my channel. Way back in the day. Okay, so I need to re-eat food. I just ate food before that fight. It probably saved me from dying, but I still ultimately ended up dying. It saved me from dying earlier than I did. We do not have... Okay, let's go ahead and use this. Let's see. I don't know if there are any other consumables. I have a lot of consumables here that I could use, but I am so much a stockpiler of those things. So Brandon, I agree with you with the crowd controls. A lot of classes actually do have stuff like that, but some of them are not removable. They're just like plain old debuffs. They wouldn't be really narrative, as I assume you mean narrative as in like story based or specifically for the content that is going on. But yeah, so Ivan, this boss fight is pretty hard. Hopefully we go through it successfully. And one issue that I could run into is I basically talk over the instructions. I have run this a lot. I pretty much remember the fight, but it'll probably take me one playthrough to actually get that. So we will see. There definitely are one-shots, and if people don't drop their eyes properly, which is a common mechanic in LOTRO, but if people don't do that, then we could definitely have issues. So I think burn is the skill, it sounds like. The Guardian will try to interrupt that. Oh, nope, that's not me with the eye. Okay, so I am actually, I hate to do this, but I'm actually going to use some heals here real quick. But my goal is to do as much damage as I can before I die. That is the Warden strategy. At least that's my Warden strategy when we don't have a healer, which oddly enough, whenever I've done group content recently, it is without a healer. So it's almost like something I've gotten used to, and that's why I have developed the strategy. What is he doing? That's scary. Oh, this is... So that was the distributed damage. Or the champion there. Okay, we're getting fire. I thought we were getting fire. Maybe it was just something. Oops. So we're getting flames, so I think we're going to rotate the boss soon. And James Hawkins' Wildwood was confirmed to come out or will be coming out next week. Alright, Annie's going to handle the burn, so we need to stand right next to her. What gambit do I need to use? How about Desolation? Wow, we only had one death without a healer. So yeah, Ivan, that probably is the high damage dealer's goal, but this specifically came, I don't know specifically came, but generally came from running group content where we didn't have a healer, and I would basically be get one shot by whatever effects were going on. I don't remember exactly what was going on in the instance is that we were running with. That could just be my squishy gear I had back then, but yeah, I would basically be putting all my bleeds on the target and then it would just one-shot me. So that became the strategy for whatever we were running. I think it was one of the Osgiliath 3-mans that kind of came about. Yeah, as far as the Wildwood preparation goes, for anybody unfamiliar that wasn't here at the start, this isn't really relevant towards Wildwood at all. It's just I conveniently combined the stream for doing group content with my Kinship, and then I might do some Wildwood preparation on top of that at the end. I will say you all might be able to tell I'm a little bit tired today. There actually was the concern that I wouldn't be able to even do a stream today because I got the COVID vaccine, which is exciting, but I don't know if that's actually having an effect, but basically there's the potential that I'm actually a little bit tired because of that. On which one? Oops, I missed that again. Okay, got it. Ready? There's a lot of distributed damage in Dol Guldur. This is, of course, same with Gold, but same general instance cluster with the Mirkwood. Seems like that's the big mechanic they came up with for Mirkwood, is just the distributed damage. And James Hawkins, I'm glad you think I have the best LOTRO content. And Ivan, I am not 60 plus years old. I was just fortunately able to get one. Wow, I look 25? That's not good, because I'm actually younger than 25. Not by much anymore. Oh, lag here. And yeah, Ivan, we actually probably did make that boss look easy. I expected there to be more trouble, but the distributed damage used to be really bad for us. But I think, as I mentioned, the old scaling instances, the ones that are lower than level 100, running them at level 100, that's when your characters become really powerful with imbued allies especially, but even gear at this point can be really strong. And also some changes to stats and gear that they've done. Over time, I think it just makes content like this easier than it used to be, and easier than if we did this, say, at lower level like 85 or 65. So even without a healer, we can, I think, make it look amazing. And Paul, I am having fun, and I do agree that LOTRO looks amazing. This might not look amazing in like the beautiful sense that a lot of people think with LOTRO, as I was talking about earlier, but it is amazingly evil looking. So James, you said a lot of people have side effects from the vaccine. Okay, you're still waiting on your... But yeah, it is exciting to be near the end of this journey. The unexpected journey. The one thing with it is, at least for me, even without it, if there's any concern with this, a lot of my free time I spend anyway, like gaming and doing LOTRO on YouTube. So as far as content goes, there shouldn't be a drastic change. At least I wouldn't expect a drastic change as far as content goes. But I personally will be a lot more comfortable actually going out and doing things that aren't in my apartment, basically. So I should go ahead and sell while we're going over instructions. This is really bad. This was actually an issue during when we were running like Rift and Nurse with the Kin. While streaming, I just at some point, I would have to say we're going over the instructions and just repeat what the Guardian's going over, which I probably should do now anyway. But sometimes I just cannot be bothered to listen. So Brandon, Minas Morgul, I don't think it's bad looking. It is definitely good looking. I don't know one of the best looking, but could be one of the best looking evil zones, and that's actually what your last little sentence there said. So Paul, it could just be the way I'm reading it, but it actually sounds like you have a hunter that's level 70, but it sounds like your experience right now isn't good, but it's been like until now it's been good, but maybe that's not what you're saying, and you like deeds a lot. Yeah, LOTRO is great if you like deeds and like that kind of completionist playstyle they come with. Can make the journey very long, but also very fun and rewarding with that, maybe. So I don't see anything. I just like keep looking at my inventory, reminding myself everything going on with these characters. I randomly have expert scholar mats here, even supreme ones. Oh, Cameron. That's unfortunate with your name, but she played LOTRO and was 83. That is actually one thing with LOTRO. I know a few older players. I don't know how old they are, but for example, there's at least one person in this group that I know is older. I don't know that old or potentially near it, but it's kind of interesting that a game like this, at least it's interesting to me that a game like this can maybe attract a older audience like that. Oh, our Guardian is going down right now. We should probably heal him. Heal him as I'm trying to do useful damage stuff that was not going all that well. And I didn't use my debuffs. Okay, we're moving to the second phase, and I should go ahead and activate Never Surrender. Okay, it looks like we're moving to this corner. I am out of morale potions, wow. I have all the fancy not bot ones, but premium ones, I guess. Oh, I'm using gambits that I should be using in the range stance. Oh. Part of that was my fault. I don't know actually being in the yellow line if I would have out-healed, but I could have gotten more bleeds in basically before I died there. Well, James, thank you for joining the stream. Sounds like you have to head out, but yeah, thank you for joining the stream, and I'm glad you think it's amazing content. I hope you do enjoy that and stuff. I wonder if Annie will be able to res me. She is a high elf. She's the only one that has a res in this group. Yeah. Annie, do you have your res, or is it on cooldown? Okay. Probably could have been backed while I was waiting to ask. Yeah, the bosses are kind of interesting. I agree, Ivan. So one thing with bosses, they don't always look super epic in LOTRO. There's some very plain looking orcs, and even some of the ones we've had so far, they just look very plain looking. These two, I think, were kind of sorcerer, Dol Guldur sorcerer looking type bosses. I don't remember exactly what the first one looked like, but there are some more incredible looking bosses, but there's some very, very interesting boss fights, I think. Even the difficulty, there's of course, with old content like this, been so many balance changes in the way it works with scaling and character power, as we've gone about a lot, but Yeah, the difficulty can be good. I think right now, actually, the Osculia 3-mans that we have available, and even the 6-man, I forget what it's called, Dome of Stars. All of the Osculia instances, I think, are pretty great difficulty for our kinship with tier 2. Okay, this fight should be fun. I mainly say this fight should be fun because there should be good AoE here. But just thinking with the bosses again, some of the... Yep. Okay, so I am doing ambush on the Lore Master. That is my job right now. The instance where you fight the bosses in the arena, unfortunately, I am... Oh, somebody pulled the... Somebody stepped, like, right on the bone pile. Alright, just need a minute to get my AoEs up, and then I am good. It's like the mobs die by the time I get all my AoEs up. I didn't even get all my AoEs up, and they were all dying there. I think I accidentally hit this little skeleton with the bleed somehow. So you fight the huge troll, then the sorcerer, troll or orc, then the sorcerer. It could be, oh, what's that called? Sword Halls of Dol Guldur. In that one, it starts with a sorcerer, and then there's a Morval Bat Lady, and then there is the huge troll at the end. In the tier 2 challenge version of that, you actually get all 3 bosses at once, if I remember correctly. Or something like that. You get the ads, like a big wave of ads, and then the bosses maybe throughout that fight. But that could be it's on cooldown. Did you say Lore Master again? Okay. Going now. Wow, that actually interrupted him right as he was casting that. See, we have to do a little bit of strategy though. When we don't have a healer, I have to actually use ambush. It is a useful ability for the Wardens. It's not something used on landscape that frequently just because it's often not worth actually inducting and getting the knockdown. But when we're in a group like this and you need a stun or an early interrupt like that, then that is very useful. Yeah, Sword Halls is very fun. That is an interesting instance. I think it's very fun to try the tier 2 challenge version of that. If we get a smaller group this evening, maybe I can try to convince a couple people to do that. It is a very fun one, especially as a Warden, as anything with AoE, actually. I think it is fun. Wow, everybody in the kin. Oh, everybody in the kin is in a group. Except this guy is in an Osculiath group, not with us. We have 6 people. Oh yeah, one of them, Snorblum's, they have an alt in the kinship. They're kind of a part of a kinship, but I think their kin is like a personal one that they don't have their main in. Yeah. So I have to keep an eye on a Lore Master. Okay, so it sounds like, yeah, if a Lore Master comes up on the left, I have to focus on that one. And Tortuga, hello to you. You say you are watching from work. I hear about people watching from all over the world, basically, when they join a stream, but work is an interesting place. I'm glad, while you are working, that you decide to watch my stream, though. So it sounds like there's a point where we will have to avoid AoEs. Okay, we'll see how this goes. The good thing about being in Discord and having people in voice chat is they can call everything out as things go on, so if If I miss minor details here, I could be saved by that, basically. Weather in the far distance, Ivan. I agree. I especially have interest in weather. I wonder if you're seeing the lightning actually going off in the distance. It's not very far distance. It's near the Dolgoldor Samethgol area we are at here. Those fell beasts are pretty interesting as well here. Wow, look how far up everybody else on the Ken got, but I'm still way back here. That's just the type of evening I guess it is for me. Okay. Yep, going a bit slow this evening. There we go, in position. In position and took a lot of damage. Okay, we're going to use some healing gambits. I need to use the 4 gambit one again. Wow. At least I'm getting my bleeds up. That is my job. Except for the lore master I have to actually pay attention to. Oh no. He did something swipe attack. Yeah, he, I thought I was behind him, but he did a frontal AoE, I think, on me. I wonder, since we have 2 guardians here, I think one's in yellow and then one's in blue line, but so hard to see with this thing in the way of the screen. I really wish you could hide your UI and hide that. It'd be very neat while dead just to get some nice screenshots. Of course, the screen is all grayed out, so there wouldn't be much color, but I still think it would be nice to at least be able to hide this somehow when you are dead. So one thing, I don't know if anybody ever watched when we were doing like Rift of Ner'zghoshu on the Legendary server, which somebody asked earlier. I don't know why, I just randomly remember things like this, but somebody asked earlier if this was a Legendary server, and it is. I really don't know who asked that or when that was, but it's on Anor. So it looks like they are doing relatively okay. This is really a problem without a healer, though. If we had a healer right now, first we'd have in-combat reses probably, and second we'd actually have somebody, if they were alive right now, of course, to heal up the people that are getting low on health. Even when I was sort of dying, healer probably could have helped a little bit with that. But one thing when we were doing the Rift that I would always do when we were dead is be nosy and look at everybody's gear. And right now, I would guess that my gear is the worst of anybody in the group. I'm not sure that is the case, but yeah, I really need to improve my character's gear to help with stuff like this. I don't think it's really necessary. That's one thing that hasn't motivated me. But also like this cloak, for example, I could get the Warden version, or whatever is good for the Warden version. Well, there are a lot of people. They're running back, I guess. Okay, I'm going to run back with them, I guess. Okay, so somebody actually did ask that, it sounds like. Stin Postma. Well, if you are still watching Stin Postma, sorry for, like, I think I totally ignored that on accident. It was just, like, something I glanced over and read and probably got distracted and never actually answered. Okay, running back as fast as a Warden can, which is slightly faster, I think, than a Hunter, but we'll have to see on that. Also, I can take shortcuts, cut out the time a little bit. So I think we have one left, and it is the tanking Guardian, the blue line tanking. Oh, somebody pulled a spirit here. And the Hunter. Oh, I thought the Hunter was running away and leaving me to deal with it. Okay, this spear is doing too much damage, so I'm going to head behind the corner. I'm still in combat, which is odd. Maybe he pulled some other skeletons. There was somebody that went through this earlier, probably hit that and either didn't realize or just ran away. In Camp As G4, I have not played Warzone, actually. Which I'm kind of surprised because I used to, a while ago, played Call of Duty, and Warzone being free seems like I should have interest in that. And I also tried PlayerUnknown's Battleground a while ago. I didn't really like that game. But yeah, I just never really got around to actually playing that. Alright, so now that I died, that means I need to reset with all my buffs. So Ivan, you think I should do an item/quests? Wait, I should do item quests, make a video about how to get late game gear. So yeah, the one problem with that is I don't really feel like, it's actually one reason I haven't done a video like that, is I don't really feel like I have the best grasp of how to do things like that. So I know where all the gear and all the sources come from, but there are so many things that people do. I think at level 130, for example, right now, that I'm just not all that connected with because I mostly play on a Nor lately, so I'm just a little bit less set into basically like an end game rotation. If I actually had an end game rotation where I was like preparing my characters, gearing them and all that sort of stuff, I could definitely do that. But just because I'm not doing that, I haven't done a video like that basically. And Nathan, my kin is a little bit weird with the LOTRO progression group, as you call it. So our progression groups, our lobby groups as they're kind of called within the kin, we actually have one that's in Moria. The problem is we use that group a lot when the server was in like East Rohan, Riders of Rohan, West Rohan with Helm's Deep, that era, because there just wasn't as much end-game activity. Right now there's a lot of stuff we can do at level 100, and we have the level 105 coming out in a month, and there's also in August we'll have Mordor coming out, which should fill people's, basically gives us a lot to do without our progression group. So it would be a little bit busy for our kin to try to have our lobby progression groups going while the server is actually progressing to all these places fast, and all these places that have like a relatively large amount of content, especially comparing again to Riders of Rohan at 85 and Helm's Deep at 95. Just for those two updates, they had relatively less content, so I think we took advantage of that and really spent a lot of time on the lobby group, going with it basically every week throughout that period. But wow, he actually brought his repair anvil, and because I can repair, that means I forgot to use my subscribers jug. So it's not called facepalm in LOTRO, but it's called face slap something. Nope, I don't think it's called facepalm. Smack face? Smack head? There we go. Wow, I feel very tall. I know we have another high elf, but next to all these dwarves and that little hobbit in the back, I feel very tall right now. Yeah, I could make a video about where to get what gear. That could definitely be helpful, and then leave the people who watch that to decide which is best for them. And that is actually one thing with a video like that. So for example, for myself, the best place to get gear is actually like Shakalash, the stair battle, and maybe Amden Damal, thinking of my playtime on level 130. But people looking for the best gear, they still probably want to run Rimmer Chant and things like that, as far as I know at least. And it will also change, of course, in update 29 and update 30. There will be a new raid in that. Update 29, there's the 2 new 3-mans, there's even the Spring Festival, and sometimes festivals can actually have the best gear. For example, the Summer Festival, I think, had the best pocket item, and I even think maybe the Storvagun from the Winter Festival also had that. So, Camp, as you say, Warzone is amazing. Maybe I could try a game like that. The only first-person shooter that I have played, really, the past few years is Overwatch. I've considered at some point doing an Overwatch stream, and one thing actually with Overwatch is I have not played it in almost a year probably. Actually played it more recently than a year, but maybe like 8 8 months to a year is when I last played it. Okay, so this fight, stay behind him. I really do think one problem is with the 2 Guardian tanks, potentially the other Guardian pulled aggro, the one I was standing near, so that might have helped that. It might have caused him to turn around, and that is how he ended up doing a frontal AoE and hit me with it. So if I can avoid that, that would of course be great. And there I actually saw his animation where he did a frontal AoE, it looked like. But of course I did not get hit by it because I'm behind him, so try to avoid that this time. As in, try not to stand in front of him and hope he doesn't turn around. Okay, so I am going to refresh. Ooh, he did a thingy on me. I don't think there actually is a ground area effect, okay. It's amazing when we have DPS up. Not to say the other people in my fellowship aren't DPS, but... Uh-oh. I'm sorry, that was me. I definitely know that was me. So, apparently we weren't supposed to kill the ads there. I totally messed that up, of course. It sounds like somebody else might have also done an AoE, but regardless if they even didn't do an AoE, I totally messed that up. I'm actually wondering, so this back item, compared to the Shield of the Hammerhand, of course it's a lot higher level. My back item is actually level 85, but the huge amount of physical mastery and critical rating is so nice on the shield, but I think I'm almost at the point where getting the vitality and agility from the teal cloak right here. Let's see, I can get 4 more relics here. Yeah, I was just going about killing the boss and I know I was using AoEs there. I totally forgot about that. That's unfortunate with the challenge. I know it's not like the most rewarding things, but it's still something exciting we could definitely have done. It would have been a little bit hard with the Yellow Line Warden to completely stop AoE just because there's a lot of things. Even single target abilities can pulse AoEs, at least with my build with Shattered Javelin. Which, by the way, this is one of the things that's going to be changing in Wildwood, or at least was in the 3rd round of beta. Is right now the way Shattered Javelins works is it gives you a 100% chance to apply Barb Javelins. It does not have anything in the text that indicates that's the way it works, but right now that is the way it works. So just with these 2 traits, you're supposed to only have a small chance that whenever you use a gambit you will apply a bleed, a ranged gambit. So like when I use Ranged Resounding Challenge, it'll always apply a bleed because I have Shattered Javelins. But the way it will work, at least the way it worked in the 3rd round of beta for Wildwood, is that no longer works that way. So it works the way the descriptions here actually say, but it really helps with my bleeds and my damage. So it sounds like we might try the Spider Wing featured instance for our next run. For some reason that outfit, it made it look like it was somebody else. But yeah, I think we are going to do Helgrod, the Spider Wing, for that. So what I want to do during that break, it sounds like a 5-minute break, is I want to get on my captain and at least do a little bit of Wildwood preparation. Depending what we do after the Helgrod Spider Wing, I might actually end the stream after that. As much as I would want to do a little bit more, you all can probably tell again that I'm a little bit more tired than I would like to be basically for streaming, so might wrap this up after we actually finish the group content. I was hoping again to do a little bit more. I was also hoping to start the stream earlier, but never got around to any of that, and my UI is very big here. Wow. So with the UI, oh, I named my UI thing something where it's like Louis 7-chat. Oops. Load, okay. That should load it, okay. But with the UI, oh, I'll need to type that once more. Wow, I have a lot of these Virtue XP saved up on this character. I even have Treasures of Minas Tirith. Got myself a nice level 105 ring actually out of that. I think it's better, definitely better than the purple one I have right there. I also have a couple pocket items. If I wanted to stop this character's XP gain, those would be helpful. I think this character, the reason I have so many of these epic battle things is my kin was doing a lot of epic battles, of course, with the beginning of Gondor, and wow, that's actually one thing. But we were doing epic battles with the beginning of Gondor and with West Rohan, of course. But with the beginning of Gondor, where do I want to go on this character? I want to go to Rivendell. I might have to spend... Oh, I actually don't have to spend a mytho coin. That's nice. But anyway, back to the beginning of Gondor. I think that is when I started running my captain through them. So yeah, with Gondor, that's what I was going on about. We got a lot of stuff when the servers came to level 100, and one thing was the epic battles. So when the servers went to level 100, that's actually, as a kin, one of the things we were doing a lot. And that was probably my favorite time for epic battles. Epic battles, of course, are... Ooh, actually can do chapter 11 here for my legendary weapons. I guess I do not have the class item yet. I don't know if that goes probably in the class slot right there. So that's exciting. One thing with this character is I really like halberds as a weapon, but I also really don't like the halberd animations that at least High Elf captains have. And it's a little bit odd because I really do like those weapons. Again, I like the look of halberds, but I do not like the way that bring the weapon to the Forge Master to be reforged. Okay, let's do that. But I do not like the animations again for the halberds, so it's actually made this character a little bit rough to play just because he has a halberd, and I want to use my best weapon and use my LI whenever I play him. Talk to Wrathwald. Okay, I will not be doing that. But I believe, I could totally be wrong on this, but I believe where I want to go is to Aragorn maybe, or not Aragorn, but Elrond. So what I am doing for anybody unfamiliar, which is probably everybody, is there is going to be a new quest chain in Foracle for the new instance Agroth the Narrow Delve in Update 29 Wildwood. So I want to get this character to potentially do the prerequisite quest, which is like book 13, I think. So I want this character to do those quests and be prepared for the new Wildwood quest chain, basically. And I thought about doing it like on my Warden, who I was just on, as I think I was mentioning this at the beginning of the stream, but I always think quests like that are a lot more fun on level, or at least very close to on level. So doing a level 50, 45 to 50 quest chain, I think would be a lot more fun on a character that's close to that level. And of course the other option is my hunter, who is like level 41 now, and he's the one I'm going to be questing through Wildwood on. But one problem with him is he cannot do the Foracle quest chain, the book quest, until higher level. I'd have to be 45 at the minimum for that. So it's something I could do on him after I finish Wildwood, but we are not to that point yet, so yeah, I don't know. Unlikely Fellowship, this could be it. It's level 50. I'll pick it up just in case. But I will head to Elrond first and then actually look it up. Captain is a fun class. I also haven't played Captain too much lately. It's one that I definitely enjoy, but I almost feel like I just haven't been in the mood for it lately. Almost like Hunter, but a little bit different than that. Hunter was... I don't know, I just have had an odd relationship with the Hunter lately. Book 16 for... Let's see what this does. Gimli and Legolas. Enemies. Veils of Imladris. Alright, let me see, unless anybody in the chat happens to be familiar, I want to see where book 13 starts. The Northward Road. Yeah, it starts at Elrond. I wonder if you have to do, as far as a prerequisite, you have to do book 12 and the such. That is possible. Unlikely Fellowship. Tharlak.
A strange fate brings you hither.
Yeah, unfortunately, I should be talking to Elrond for this, but it probably has some prerequisites that just aren't listed in the LOTRO wiki. I wonder if I look at Volume 1, Book 12, if that'll give me any hint. but probably not. Unfortunately, if that is the case, I will not be able to. It looks like there's a lot. It all starts at Elrond. That is all I know. So it looks like there is a lot that starts at Elrond, and I accidentally totally closed out the chat for YouTube here, so it'll take me a moment to get back on that. And Ivan, thank you for joining this stream. I hope you enjoyed it. I guess it's been a little bit of a calmer stream as far as stuff goes, which is okay. But yeah, because it does not look like I can do that right now, I will just head back on my Warden. One thing I've actually considered with my Hunter is to do all the book quests, and as you all probably know, especially in these low-level regions, I usually skip the book quests because there's a lot of travel and back and forth type stuff, as I saw with Trollshaws with my Hunter and stuff like that. But one thing I've considered is after Wildwood, maybe actually sitting down and actually doing all the level 50 book quests, give them a fair chance and all that. It's been, I don't even know if I have done all those book quests, because when I started LOTRO, level 50 was not the cap, and all that stuff was basically not needed, and all I was interested in was leveling, and I might have done some of them scattered throughout, but if they all require a chain, I doubt I really got too far into it. So yeah, I thought about actually giving those a go on my Hunter. It's not the type of questing I would normally enjoy, but there's the potential I would enjoy that, especially as my taste for what I enjoy in the game has changed over time. Go ahead and sell. Keep my inventory clean. This is a long 5-minute break, it seems like. Oh wow. Did not expect to already be forming this. Maybe it wasn't that long of a break. It's already been 5 minutes, and I guess they were starting to form the raid. Yet, I don't know, do any of you happen to be familiar if there are prerequisites for book 13? Book 13's the Foracle part of Volume 1. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It starts with book 6, I think, with Ingmar. So, okay. That's good to know. I was hoping to get a character through book 13 though, because there is Agraroth the Narrow Delve and Wildwood will have a quest chain, but you have to finish book 13 chapter 10 to start that. And yeah, I don't have a character that has done any of those actually on this server, so might have to get my Hunter through that after questing through Wildwood. So I think some people in the kin actually confirmed that with me, the ones in Discord. Yeah, that's why it's a little bit of a struggle for me to actually put another character through it, since especially unlike some of the higher level ones, I don't actually need to do it for trait points or anything. I'm just like, I will ignore it. It is good to know. I guess there are probably a lot of people that are like this on alts, but as far as book quests go for people in the stream, I usually do book quests once, and I can be fun. Sometimes book quests aren't the most exciting thing, but I like going through them on one character, experiencing the story and all that sort of stuff. But I'm not the biggest fan of doing book quests on alts, and having the Agraroth the Narrow Delve quest chain locked behind sounds like a huge book chain. I don't have that done on any of the characters on this server, so it's just going to be a little bit of an investment for me to actually get to. And as far as the quest chain goes for that, for anybody that is not up to speed with Wildwood as well, it is not required, so the quest chain is just like an extra level 45 thing you can do now. Wow, somebody killed all those. HAN, it was actually a Hunter. I wonder if they're using split shot? Looks like somebody used split shot there, a rain of arrows or something. There there's one more group in the back that I would like to pull. Actually, I think somebody else pulled the group in the front, and then I think even the back. But these mobs die so quickly. We're running the featured instance. But with this content again, it's just so easy at level 100, the way the scaling and all that works. So we can burn through it really quickly here. We have a lot of hunter. 4 hunters, 2 champions it looks like. I'm very glad to be in the group with the captain though. Get some buffs for all the damage over time that is having like no time to actually do anything. Just even compared to when I have run this featured instance on the server at this level with this character, this group seems to be going extra fast with that, definitely. Get this torch. So if I remember correctly, and this is probably an important thing that I should remember, is it is left first and then right second. So hopefully that is the case as I actually go here and put the torch down. And that does appear to be the case. I recognize that just poking my head in. Does this seem to be going extra fast today? Yeah, I'm glad to know it sounds like for people in my kin this is also going extra fast for them. Yeah, normally my dots get at least 1 or 2 ticks before the things die. Well, might as well, if I'm just waiting for my dots and stuff to actually go off, might as well get this and then burn the webs. Looks like somebody, the hunter who was killing everything earlier, and even now it looks like they know the way to go. This is basically why I make sure I'm out ahead of everything, just so I can actually get my dots to go a little bit and feel like I'm contributing a little bit. But with all the hunters and champions that do their damage up front instead of over time, unlike the hunter, that just means all my stuff, of course, doesn't get a chance to actually tick off or anything like that. So I feel like in a way with this stream, I have done a little bit of Wildwood preparation, as in I have learned about book 13. But I still think I might log on to my champion at least, or log into a different character, just see what I have for my options at level 20. And at least having, once again, kind of like the Forest Hill questline, having a character on level to do the quest chain that is outside the instance, I think would be more fun than just going through on a high level character for that. Also, one thing I'm very excited about with the instances is the level scaling gear. This is again something I definitely could have made a whole video on, and I might even make a video since I won't be able to do a stream tomorrow. Maybe I'll work on a video in the morning talking about the changes from the first round of beta to the last round of beta, on what basically you can expect actually going into Wildwood. And then I'll do the usual patch breakdown when Wildwood releases, of course. But I think that would probably be a good and helpful thing to cover. I'm also thinking about doing a video, depending how things actually work out with the patch and everything, is there are a lot of hidden changes coming in Wildwood, at least that weren't noted in the beta patch notes, which I think are mostly good things, except there's the nerf to the Warden Yell line. I say nerf to Shattered Javelins because there is a slight, very slight upside to the way it has changed, but overall it's definitely not. It's only impactful for a single gambit that is an upside. But without Shattered Javelins guaranteeing a Barb Javelins, this gambit ranged and ring strike is a little bit better for overtime damage, but for immediate burst damage it is worse. But anyway, that's like the fringe scenario on how the change to Shattered Javelins in the beta for Wildwood could actually be a good thing. Otherwise it is a nerf. Right, I don't know. This is probably no need to stop. Okay, if things die, that is definitely my fault. I think we probably failed the challenge though. Yeah, things were going so fast I did not realize they were active yet. One already died. I feel like other people are still attacking things, but I am just causing issues today. Yeah, it failed pretty early on. Oh, it failed for me at least. Probably because I caused it. At least I feel like I caused it. Oh. Apparently we're trying to reset this. If we can reset this, that is great. Trying to cause even more issues. Almost got the boss down. So I still have the challenge failed. Can we actually reset it? Or leave and then come back in? It's not back for me. Okay, so I don't know if I have the challenge. I have, yeah, challenge. Okay, so I think I have the challenge again. So for this stream, unfortunately, I am going to mute myself for a moment to talk to my Ken here real quick. So a little bit awkward, but I'll be back to the voice chat in a moment. I think we will just basically be running to the boss now, though. Okay, I am back. I feel like this instance, I'm just looking at my face cam for a minute. Usually I am all orange, like if I open the map it just makes my face all orange looking, but it's actually not that bad when the actual color of the screen is blue, because that is still the main lighting source for my actual face. That is the main lighting source. I have lighting that points up towards the ceiling, but that makes the bottom part guess a little bit darker, a little bit shadows there. So it's still something I'm thinking about how to improve it. But yeah, I'm still not entirely sure. And hopefully this time we can actually pay attention to what is going on here. Looks like I have all my buffs set, so I don't need to use anything, and I might just go a little bit light on the AoE, or actually pay attention if that can be possible. This is an example, we were talking about water earlier whenever I was going with my hunter, but this is an example of a place that has really low quality reflections, and it could be my graphic settings. That is possible, but I feel like there are a lot of water pools like this that don't quite look that great with the reflections. When flowing water, on the other hand, usually looks very great in LOTRO, and this is just very random that I noticed it, but I know I was talking about it on one of my Wildwood preparation streams on the hunter, so it is a little bit what's going on here. Virtues on this character. What am I earning? Loyalty, that is good. So Tortuga, I'm glad you agree that that's pretty bad. I am not glad that it is pretty bad and that somebody agrees on that, if that makes sense, but basically I'm glad that I'm not crazy. And for some reason there was a point where I think they updated the water. Standing Stone Games changed the water, and some pools like this, I don't know this one specifically, but some of them got a lot worse. We don't have any white-robed ones. I'm just paying extra careful attention right now, trying to force myself, but ooh, Tortuga, I honestly doubt we will get ray tracing. That would be exciting if I can ever get my hands on a ray tracing GPU. Like, now that I actually have the money saved up to get a GPU, and now that there are new NVIDIA ones, that the RTX 3000 series, now that those are out, they're all sold out, so I have not been able to get one. And as far as like in-store options, that's basically non-existent here where I am, so I do not have that as a possibility either. Hopefully, I saw a hunter use Rain of Arrows, so hopefully they weren't actually killing these silk spinners. I see some of them are going down a little bit on the health. Can kill the individual spiders here, of course. So waiting for these fires to activate so I can actually burn the... We have to burn the little wood things. Yeah, I think we're just going so fast. Oh. Alright, sounds like we failed this. That's unfortunate with the challenge. There's still, actually for the featured instance, there's actually a lot more rewards for doing the challenge, the featured challenge, but overall not the biggest deal. And look how fast we're killing the boss even. Wow. It's kind of funny. We were basically going through the instance so fast, we were killing the first set of ads so fast that people didn't realize we were already on the ones that we don't have to kill the mobs, so we don't have to kill for the challenge. Alright, let's loot the chest. Open this. Do not have enough room to open that, wow. Okay, going to use heritage on a random item, so it maybe have room. And for my rewards for the featured instance, I got level 130 armor, which is super exciting when the level cap is 100. Bargus hide leggings, do not get that. This I do not want either. Wow, that should show how tired a little bit that I am. Just that it took me so long to actually think about that. Not wanting the sword, basically. But I think we are good to leave this, and I will check my other characters. But as far as I know, we're probably done with instances. We could not be. I wouldn't mind going a little bit longer. It's been a little bit less than an hour and a half while I'm tired. It's actually fun to just play LOTRO a little bit and relax as much as I am messing up with instances right now. But while I am waiting to see what my kin is doing, I can go ahead and switch characters and get that stuff. And Tortuga used to use a GTX 1080 Ti, and just like me, it sounds like he saved the money for new parts, but yeah, everything is basically out of stock right now. Actually, it's a little bit out of my budget, kind of a lot bit out of my budget actually, but I've even been looking at pre-built PCs where I could do a sweeping upgrade of like CPU and graphics card, but everything else I don't really need. It's just the graphics card and CPU might help a little bit. But as far as my character to get to level 20, I thought I could level my champion. It'd be fun, I think, to do a stream of just leveling my champion to 20 to get him ready for Wildwood. It really depends when Wildwood is released, because I would like to do one more prep stream on my hunter, and then one more prep stream, or one on my champion. I could combine the two. If I level, say, to 20 really quick on the champion, I could do, bumping the mic there, I could do the hunter at the end of that. And also, this is one of the things I forgot to talk about. In the future, as in this week, it is spring break for me, but I still have to work, so I should be able to spend a little bit more time doing YouTube stuff and relaxing, but I do still have to work. But anyway, one of these days, I want to do a full day stream, kind of like I did Minutes Morgul. I was thinking Saturday, next Saturday. Sounds like they might be wanting to do Karn Doom, which of course I would be up for. That would be very fun. But that's the champion that I would like to level, basically. He's wearing my Warden's outfit, which I'm not too sure I'm a fan of. It's kind of decent, but I don't know. I guess after wearing it on a female, it just looks so bulky. I guess she's not wearing it right now, but yeah, as far as, let's see, Karn Doom. I'll get on my captain. But as far as my GPU that I do have, it's a GTX 970, and my CPU is an i7 7700K. So the two kind of upgrades I've been eyeing, main one is GPU just because it is so old, but the what's I going on, CPU is now also getting a couple years old at least. And this is Karn Doom Tower, right? Okay, yeah, if you're wanting on level, I just logged on my captain for that. And I totally lost my cursor. There it is. Okay, so this character cannot do the book quest. I might do that on my hunter. That looks like a Warden. But for this character, he has a sword and shield, because it's actually a like mace or something. But it's cosmetically switched to a sword. And I really like that, but it's a struggle for me to actually use a one-hander on a class that can use a two-hander when I don't need the defenses. Of course, with a captain, they're at the fastest. With that. Wait. I missed a little bit what was going on. They might be doing layout load. Okay, they're going to explain what is going on again. So I could grab a new CPU cooler. One thing with the CPU cooler is I do have liquid cooling on that. I got the cheapest liquid cooling option I could find at the time that was compatible with the CPU. But I do have some cooling on it. I don't know how great it is. It sounds like the 7700K can overclock great. Yeah, that is one thing. Thinking specifically with a game like LOTRO, I'm not sure how much of an upgrade an i9 10900K or whatever it is would actually be over the 7700K, just because with LOTRO it's more about, I think, the single core speed. So we're doing Karn Doom. I'm actually going to check if my Warning needs deeds if we're doing high level run. Basically I want to go on whichever character needs deeds. And if my Warning needs deeds, I'd rather go on him, because as much as I like the captain, I wouldn't mind getting my captain, say, like up to 100. In Vulgar, so with AMD versus Intel, there are a lot of reasons I would actually prefer AMD, at least as far as the CPU goes. For basically everything other than LOTRO, I would actually have to look more into it, but I think AMD could be better. But I think with CPUs, Intel usually has higher single core speed, which is important for LOTRO, a game that is single threaded. Doesn't multi-thread basically, and can't take advantage of having all those cores and all the processor speeds spread throughout those, at least as far as I understand the way things works. Okay, let's see if this character needs the Karn Doom deeds. Hopefully after all that switching. Here we go. Instances, Shadows of Angmar, and we want Karn Doom. Mercenaries of the White Hand, new. Oh, I might have completed. Champions of Uragor, Slayer. Wow. Okay, never mind switching characters again. I was just checking if this one needed deeds, but the Warning is all set on those, it looks like. Back to Captain. So when we did the Shadows of Angmar stuff, as far as our Lobby progression group goes, I actually had both my Captain and Warning, but I went through that stuff on my Warning first. And then I started going through that on my Captain later. I talked about this, I think, in my Captain story video. That was a fun video. It actually made me a little bit excited to go through stuff on my Captain again. And yeah, video editing, that type of stuff, video editing, maybe even using like GIMP where I make the thumbnails. I think AMD could be better. I don't know for sure that that would be the case. Okay, let's make sure this character actually needs deeds before I... Yeah, at least this one needs deeds, so settled on that. But maybe actually playing my Captain here would make me a little bit more interested in the character in general again. And what I want to do is switch to my other spec. I have the tank and DPS spec. My favorite spec on the Captain is actually the blue line. And also, this is very odd, but with video editing, I think getting a better GPU would actually help with that. Of course, the main thing with the GPU is actually the graphics in the game. That's what's most important to me about. Sounds like there's some issue with the minstrel. The whole reason we're running this is actually for the minstrel. I think to get some deeds and get something they need. I don't remember exactly because it's kind of auto level 90 something needs us to join. But Vulgar, so you have had Intel for so long, it's become a comfort for you, and I kind of feel the same way. I had an AMD FX 8300 or 8350, something like that, and it just I didn't really have anything bad to say about the GPU at first, especially because it was such an upgrade from just using laptops before that. But over time I noticed, especially with LOTRO, the performance was not ideal. Of course, LOTRO has all its issues on its own, so upgrading to the Intel CPU actually helped my performance in game a lot. But after that, I feel like just knowing more about LOTRO and how it works and what's best for the game, maybe I do feel more comfortable for Intel CPUs as well. Rivendell's kind of blue outside. I know when we went through this on my Hunter that it was very gray often. Okay, so it looks like we're actually good to go, as long as the Kunal, the minstrel here, can join, and it does look like they can. And yeah, with the Micro Center's Tortuga, that's actually one of the ones I was kind of implying earlier, that there aren't just any options. And I know Micro Center is a place where people have actually been able to get like the RTX GPUs, the 3000 series with that. So were we just doing the tower part? Okay. Oh no, I'm fine with whatever. As long as y'all... Oop. I just need something to heal, so you'll need to start taking more damage. Wow, my heal. My level 100 Warden, the initial heal from Rallying Cry, that's about the same as my level 100 Warden's Conviction heal. It's really hard to compare the two just because the Blue Line Captain, of course, is a more so real healer, and the Warden is definitely not a healing class, but it's just kind of interesting. I did not expect this to be that many numbers, basically, even with the Warden. So yeah, we get to the tower pretty quickly. Every time I've run Cara Dune lately, it's been like a full clear, so this is pretty fast to get through right here. This character has some interesting dyes. I really don't know where I would have gotten these. Oh, it's probably sometimes in the LOTRO store they have the coupon, and there's sometimes dyes from that, because I do not buy dyes from the LOTRO store. Maybe after being away from the captain so long as well, I can maybe learn to like the... maybe I can actually learn to like the halberd animations. It's just kind of... I really don't know how to describe it, but I actually feel like the High Elf Captain... I don't know if Race of Man, that could actually be the same, but High Elf Captain to me just feels like they don't know how to actually use a halberd, or never even used one. That's just what the animations look like to me. Okay, so Vulgar, you have, there's 3070 and a handful of 3090s. 3090s I think I do see, as far as like online retailers go, I do see that one more frequently available. So 3080s are always sold out. Yeah, in the US is definitely very hard to get them. Okay, yeah, so as far as the ideal one, would probably be a 3070 for me. I'd even settle just to get a 3060 Ti, and depending on the price, maybe even a 3080. It'd be a little bit, I guess, overboard for what I need, or would want to upgrade it for, but just having any option would actually be nice at this point for me to upgrade my GPU. And I am sinking down. I'm actually surprised I'm not falling off the face cam. I felt like I was sinking way down in my chair. It's kind of funny just looking at him. I guess he bugged out. We probably went through... I don't know if we went through all that stuff too fast, if that could cause him to bug out, but he's just standing there. He said, "Oh, I see we have brave explorers." I guess he thought we were too brave. He was just gonna stand there and hope we would leave. Alright, maybe this time he will activate. I don't think we can continue the instance without killing him. Oh, does he have the key to the door? I like to get screenshots of NPCs like this so I can put them in thumbnails. I think today's thumbnail, I had one of the bosses from Samoth Gold, the instance we ran earlier on. Oh, he just moved. Oh, yeah, we didn't take that yet. So, yeah, what we forgot to do to activate the boss is take the wrong turn. See, he doesn't actually activate until we make the wrong turn, and he has to correct that for him to activate. So, don't really know, but that is the explanation for what went on there. Okay, so Vulgar, you were able to get a 3070. And yeah, for me, I don't know the exact difference between, say, a 3070 and a 3080, which sounds like that one would have been the more so ideal for you. Did I just heal something for 2,000? That was a really big heal. I'm just paying attention to the numbers, I guess, after seeing... Yeah, Coda... Oh, Kunal, the minstrel, did a heal for 2,000. Okay. Okay, so Vulgar, that is actually one thing. Instead of buying... I talked about... briefly mentioned that I have been looking into pre-built desktops. One, just to see the actual price of them, which, again, is out of what I would like to spend on that right now. Okay. I'm going to turn my webcam off for a minute so we can have this video. Actually, I'm in a very bad position for that. Okay, going back on. Unfortunately, wow, that would have been a good one. I might have just missed that. I saw that too late. But I like to make little GIFs of our adventures. Sometimes I'll post them in various places. Oh yeah, so Vulgar. Yeah, the ideal would actually be buying parts. I have not built a PC from scratch. The biggest thing that I would be a little bit nervous isn't quite the right word, but the thing I'd be least prepared for and know the least about is actually getting an OS, an operating system, on a newly built PC. But what I have done with my PC is I have taken everything apart and I actually installed a new PSU. I did a motherboard, CPU cooler. I did the hard drives and that stuff. That's very easy. Plugging in the case is also fairly easy. So yeah, basically it's everything but the operating system, and it's kind of huge progress from where I used to be. But that's the nice thing about having a desktop. I wonder if we want more damage or to take less damage. Oh. So apparently the hunter... That was actually a good reminder. So put down your bows, hunters, or I'll put them down for you. Wonder what that did. It might have debuffed, like disarmed the ranged hunter. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if I've played a hunter recent enough to know if they can get disarmed, their bow disarmed. I don't know if that's what actually happened there. That's interesting. So Tortuga, it sounds like installing Windows is essential these days. That is good to know. If I ever did want to completely build a PC from scratch. And that's something... I don't want to say anything bad about like shops that do pre-built PCs that basically charge by the parts cost plus a little bit, whatever they want to charge, I guess. But that was very nice for me, very convenient for my first one, the desktop I'm using now. But the desktop I'm using now, I have made so many changes that I'm comfortable basically changing everything out. I have the same case as before, and I have all the hard disk drives and solid state drive that came with it in the same GPU, but everything else I have completely replaced. And I have, as far as the GPU goes, back when I was having PC issues, which I think was all my power supply anyway, I would constantly be like reseating my GPU and would try all the whole 2 different slots the motherboard has for it. I don't remember this instance if you can kind of force these things to go out faster, but I think you just have to wait for them to go one by one. My captain, I might have to rework his keybinds. There are a few very odd things about it that I would actually like to change. I actually have a similar issue with the Guardian. I almost feel like, I'm kind of thinking right now, I wonder if one of my issues with the captain is actually his keybinds make me less interested in playing him. And I know that sounds like something crazy, but I actually feel like right now, the way I have my keybind set up is just very weird, and I really do think almost makes me less excited about the gameplay, I guess, on the captain than I should be. So what I am considering is, usually I like having my interrupt for like animation cancels and the such at shift 1. I wonder if moving that up to shift 1 can somehow make the gameplay feel a little bit better. Oh yeah, the wiring game. That is... I'd be scared to actually look at my desktop and see what the wiring is like, because when I got it pre-built, the wiring was very neatly done. Everything was tied up, hidden behind stuff, and whatever like little tunnels the case has where wires can go. All that type of stuff was set very nicely. But 1, as I have replaced stuff, and then 2, as I replaced the PSU, which that's where all the wires come from, there is, of course, I had to do that and never did. I have all this loot. Which ones? But yeah, if I actually do get parts for the PC, I would probably definitely be interested in doing a video on that. Man, I have done a little bit of similar stuff with my mattress lately. So I have a mattress that turned out to be a very bad option. This is surprisingly similar to with a PC in a way, but my mattress is not supposed to be taken apart and gotten into and having parts replaced or whatever, but due to some discomforts of my mattress and some of the things about it, I actually opened up the mattress. I had to cut the whole top part out, and then I basically removed the top 4 layers of the mattress. And yeah, replaced it with something. I had to get on my own a mattress topper, so I don't know, that's just a little bit similar maybe. And the point was, I could have actually done a video or stream on that. It would have been totally non-gaming related, but thinking about doing a video of replacing my PC made me think of that. Not replacing, but replacing some parts, of course. And Vulgar, you'll have your fingers crossed for that stream. Yeah, the problem is I have to actually get parts for my PC, even if it's something as simple as a GPU. Although I almost feel like a GPU is too easy to just like put in there to do a whole video on that. I may be so excited if I actually get one of these RTX GPUs that I would do a video on it just because of that. But ideally, for me to do a video, I feel like getting a different CPU. This is actually an interesting helmet. Ooh, and I don't even have to roll on it. I have to clean this character's inventory. That's the prerequisite for getting that. Okay, let me send some mail to my Warden, if I can stop hiccuping. I have no idea which virtue XP's already put in. Oh, maybe it was that one already. Oh. Okay, so I really do want to get to that helmet on this character, so I'll probably go to the vendor. And again, that is, unless they're going to actually be running more group content, that is all I have for this stream. We'll actually see if that is the case in a moment here as I go to the vendor. Yeah, I just did that. It was one of my favorite session plays. That's coming from somebody who does not like session plays. Oh, so it sounds like the person, they're talking about the session play in Moria where I played the little dwarf. And somehow playing a dwarf in a session play, that was actually fun to me, dare I say, when I don't like session plays and I don't like playing dwarves. Let's say, so I need to clean, don't want any of that. Yeah. Okay, so as far as this helmet goes, it might actually be an upgrade. I would lose the tactical mitigation, which is important for this character. Let's just see, my morale goes a little bit up. That would be the main thing I'd actually consider that for. Of course, the physical mastery for damage or whatever, but this is a healing slash tanking captain who does not even have a red line. And Baranjak, I am on the Anor server on this character. I also do play Arkenstone as well, though. So it sounds like we could be running BG, not Barad Guldur, but Barad Gulduran.
You may be of service to me.
Okay, so it sounds like we are passing on that one. So that's kind of actually similar, looking at the helmet versus the one I have equipped, and also this chest piece. This chest piece is so much nicer than the chest piece I have equipped right now, but the physical mastery and critical rating is nice, but for this character, for what he was doing, I actually preferred the vitality and maybe even the fate a little bit, but I think I will go ahead and equip this one. That's such a huge physical mastery and critical rating. Even for the captain that plays Yellow Line and Red Line. And Yawning Sloth. Yawning sounds good to me right now. This is the Steed of the Alliance of the Third Age. So this was from the Mordor, one of the Mordor bundles. I don't remember which one, but that is when I got it many years ago from that. Okay, so while they're doing the wrapping up stuff, I think I can log in my hunter. He has some missions that I can at least do. So I feel like I have to match everything with the stream title, and that's actually another topic that I was hoping to bring up at one point, is when I do streams like this, there are a lot of unknowns with what will actually go on that can be exciting with streams. Some of them are fairly planned out and go basically as planned, but yeah, sometimes it's just really hard to actually title streams and even make thumbnails for streams, so it's just something I have to consider. I'm going to head out as well. Thanks for the invite and the runs. Okay, so this character, oh yeah, he's doing, I had fun running the instances, but I do want to get back to this hunter. I want to get back to him. I'm so excited to actually be going through Wildwood on him, but I think I can do one more stream, as I mentioned, on this hunter, and maybe combine it with the champion or even do two separate things. But we will just have to see when Wildwood is released. And this is one thing I was hoping after War of Three Peaks and all the issues and feedback Standing Stone Games got from players based on War of Three Peaks. The big thing is I feel like they don't do this with all the updates, but having a release date more than a week ahead of time even, which were probably under a week from Wildwood release, but I think having a release date would be very good to have at least a week ahead. And I don't know, I feel like other games, when there are major updates like this, at least you get notified or know when they'll be released ahead of time. I don't know that that's always the case because I don't follow all that many different games, but that just seems to be general. It's one thing I really wish with, again, the major updates, the big numbered and titled updates in LOTRO, that we would actually get that stuff ahead of time so I can, like, for me, it's so I can actually plan out and prepare. Like, I'm doing all these preparation streams, kind of doing them not knowing what's actually going on. So for example, with this character again, when I started him, I did not know I would have this much time. At that time, it sounded like Wildwood would have already been released at this point, basically. So yeah, so I have actually the missions weekly and daily, except I need more quest slots, which can easily be fixed by abandoning some unneeded quests, like all of these Lone Land ones. But yeah, just to wrap up this stream, I think I will briefly do, at least turn in some missions. Somebody is cheering at me, and I have no idea who it is. I have no idea where they are. They probably went into a mission. But anyway, I should have a few missions ready to turn in. But there's the potential that I need to actually do some. We will see. Already in use. That means I am lagging. Let me see if I do have any ready to turn in. I have Secrets, Goblin Town, and Heart of Kitzel. Finish. But as far as an update for content in the future, I think I'll work on a Wildwood related video for not for tomorrow, but I will work on that tomorrow. And then maybe have another Wildwood preparation stream on Monday. Okay, I have one more ready to turn in. Secrets of the something, which I would guess is this guy, but nope. Is that Ozma? Or maybe I just can't actually see. Secrets of the Frost Elf. There we go. Well, that was a very easy daily. That is all the missions I have banked up and completed on this character, though. Alright, so have all... Oh, don't quite have all the missions. I'm probably going to run out of quest slots here in a minute. But I like to get all these missions just because they stay in my quest log. And there's really no harm in that unless I actually do run out of space. I have actually the maximum active quests right now. But there we go. That was just a little bit I could do on this character to wrap up and do some actual Wildwood preparation and leveling to again match the stream title and what I planned a little bit. But anyway, as far as this stream goes, I hope you all did enjoy it. As you all can probably tell, and as I've talked about, I'm a bit tired for this one, but I still had fun playing LOTRO, and yeah, hopefully it wasn't too bad with like being boring or anything with the content or me seeming too tired. But anyway, I do hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing for more or becoming a channel member to support the content, and thanks for joining and chatting and watching, everyone.